You guess what giblets was in?
What's that?
A good story, man.
Okay.
Just tell a story. You got a spoopy one?
I don't have any spooky ones.
I got a spoopy one.
Alright.
I hate that word.
Hey man, they made the sign. I just follow the rules.
Well, I think it was 2 years ago, up at my cottage, and me and a buddy were staying in one room, and we were up until 4 a.m. We couldn't sleep. So I don't know if we were just really sleep deprived, or if or if we actually saw stuff. But we saw like these white orbs floating around the room, and like we both claim we saw it.
It was in the room?
It was in the room, and it was like moving around. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Nope.
I
just slept outside.
Like, my dad and his girlfriend were in the other room.
Hot.
And definitely not what I was going for. But like we heard somebody cough, but it wasn't from the other room. Like it was in our room. And it wasn't either one of us. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Did you look at each other and say, "Did you cough?"
No, like we were looking at each other the whole time because like we were scared shitless, and I don't remember everything, but that was pretty much it.
Fucking orbs.
I don't know.
Were you like in a room that faced out into the woods?
No. Like we were facing like a wall. It was a closed-in room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like the room was probably, I'd say no bigger than this room.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And there's just orbs floating around.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It was really scary. I don't like I said, I don't know if we were like delusional because we didn't sleep, but
yeah, just for.
But
reference.
like we both saw it. So I don't know what that was, but.
Fuck. The room we're in is tiny. It only fits this chair and this table and our chairs. So.
Yeah, it was like two single beds, like one on each side of the wall, and then there's like a little pathway in between that could fit like one person.
Fuck.
And there's like a little tiny, like maybe like 20-inch TV on the wall.
No, thank you.
But yeah, it was really creepy.
Ugh.
No, fuck with ghosts, man.
You don't have any?
Seriously, I wish.
Not even at the old house?
At the old house, I mean, there was like one instance where I saw like zipping lights and shit when I was like walking downstairs at night, but I think that may have just been my eyes catching the light on like the time for the oven and like being really tired and just looking at it quickly. But
kind of like the way your old house was set up.
Yeah,
the spiral staircase.
Yeah,
like I'd never seen one.
It was pretty cool. I fell down it a few times, but it was pretty cool.
You can only fall down a spiral staircase gracefully. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah,
because you're bouncing off walls and shit.
And it fucking hurts, dude. And you just hit the ground and you're just like, fuck, how did I not stop myself halfway through?
Yeah, you have all those railings to grab.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only one I had, I was alone. So, like...
Oh, yeah? So
it's completely up to how people trust my word, which... I don't know.
Well, let's hear it.
I was sleeping in bed, and prior to that, I was having things completely, like, blip out of existence while I leave the room. Like, I'd have my phone on my bed, I go to the bathroom, come back, and that phone was now under my mattress on my bed spring. Like, in between sandwich, in the middle.
What?
And there was shit on my bed. So, like, weird stuff that I had no way of explaining, and I wasn't really telling anybody for a bit because it just makes me sound like I'm doing more crack than I am. But, like, it got to a point where I fell asleep and was woken up by... I realized I just jumped ahead in time instead of going back with the box spring thing. That was just an example of this type of shit that was happening, but at this point, I hadn't bought the box spring yet. I was on the floor. So, like, my wallet was disappearing, too. Like, I had a remote for my old TV that was just fucking showing up in my mom's room, which she swears she never touched it, but whatever. I woke up with my mattress shaking as if somebody was, like, rustling it at the end of the bed.
Yeah.
But my fucking mattress was on the floor, and it's a heavy-ass memory foam mattress. So that was enough.
And you were conscious for this? Like, you weren't sleeping or anything?
No, like, I was laying down, trying to sleep, and then that shit started.
Yeah.
And, like, it went on for a good 3 minutes, and then stopped. But, like, I couldn't see anything at the foot of my bed. It was just, like, jostling.
Jesus.
Like, more fun was being had. But, yeah, that was the first time, and then the second time went from like 0 to 100 because I was actually sleeping, and then it happened again. It woke me up because the thing on my wall, like I have this shitty like framed cheap picture
Yeah, okay.
that's only hanging by a nail that was like in the wall when I moved here. Like it's just permanently there. So
It's not leaving anytime soon.
no, it was jostling so hard that thing fell on my hip. And that's what woke me up, was the impact of it falling on my hip. And then I stand up, and this bed, as soon as I stood up, became like a fucking magic carpet. Like, it was, like, fully trembling, and I couldn't even stand properly.
It turns out you just had a hospital bed that had a massage feature.
I wish. But,
yeah.
like, I stood up and tried to step off of my bed, but it was just so fucking disorienting, I couldn't do it, so I just, like, collapsed down to the floor, and then like as soon as my full body hit the mattress, it like all went dead. But I was shook for like a good week about that. But it sounds ridiculous. Like I have no idea what would cause that if it wasn't some sort of supernatural thing. And if it was, I was like Googling shit for that good week, like
Oh man.
seeing if there were any other experiences similar to that, and none that I ever found. So I was
like,
just,
yeah, I had a cross on my wall, turned upside down.
Please send help.
That seems like a very specific situation, to the point where, like, if that happened to me, even though I don't believe in that stuff...
You got my demon?
Yeah, and I would have looked for a psychic or something to have been like, okay, what is going on? Are there any energies you can identify that would have been conclusive of something like that happening? That sounds like a very negative experience. It doesn't sound like...
It wasn't fun. I'm afraid to go to a psychic or like a medium or something.
I think they'll either be full of shit or they'll be so right.
Yeah, but how do you
full
tell
of
the
shit.
difference?
Exactly. And then it becomes like the persuasive thing of like you start to believe what they tell you. Like they'll say like these sorts of events might take place in your life, so you start actively thinking that they'll happen, so they eventually do because you
you manifest it. It's like dark magic. You will it into being. Like
that's the problem with those things.
Walk
like,
the left hand path.
Yeah, basically. So my mom's mom was accused of being a witch when she was younger, and they nearly tried to drown her.
They hanged her actually.
When was she alive?
She was young in
1800s?
20s and 30s, I think. Okay, 1800s. It's a little far.
In Newfoundland?
Yeah, Newfoundland, yeah.
Fuck.
They
I mean, that
Well,
doesn't
yeah, I
surprise
mean,
me.
they're so far back,
Yeah,
like
it
time
makes
wise.
sense.
They didn't get cell phones till 04, you know?
Like I still think like in 2020 now, I think they're back in like 2005 still, you know, with technology.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. They're like Mennonites.
Yeah.
And I went there and I was segregated by my own cousin who is also brown.
Oh,
You know
is
what
he?
I'm saying? It like doesn't
They
make
had
sense.
apartheid down there?
Yeah.
But like, I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense either, but he's like native brown, whereas I'm
You're a
like,
light-skinned boy yourself.
I don't know what. They literally thought that I was coming in there as this city boy who was trying to like
To
impose
take
himself.
over? Or?
Yeah, to take over and literally
Wow.
like demoralize
Impregnate
everybody.
all
and
the
tell them-
daughters.
Just because I wanted to add rules to basketball, they were like,
Because you knew how to play
yes,
basketball.
because I knew how to play basketball.
Listen, we
Like,
don't
nope.
take your con around.
Just take your black sail back to where you.
Why are you
came.
calling it a rock? What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. That sounds very racist, by the way. Calling it a rock. I didn't call it the rock. Pass the rock.
Is that racist?
Why
I think
is
so.
it?
I think that's just a black thing.
I don't
Or
think
maybe
it
I'm
is.
being presumptuous.
I think
Yes.
it's just yeah.
I play with many a white stack.
I
Call it a rock.
I really think that turned back on myself. But
Play with many a crackers.
yeah, okay, now you're taking it back to the.
I'm a cracker.
I guess. I mean, you're.
I listen to
on.
Uncle
I'm a
Cracker,
ginger
you know?
snap. I know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Fuck.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, basically the main thing of going there is it's different. It's like you're walking into the South, and walking into the South when you're still in Canada is not comfortable.
It's Canada's northern south.
It basically is, and then they have
Yeah,
the
it's
map
more
upside
north
down.
than south.
like,
Yeah.
literally to the point where at the local gas stations they water down their gas. Like that's the thing that they do.
Yeah, they want it to they want it to last longer.
They skim milk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it basically is.
They want to sell more for less.
And you're just getting around on ATVs and then all that shit, and it's like it's fun.
I don't think I could go there.
It's different. You just walk into an entirely different environment. Like you kind of think of it as like this is Canada, but not really.
This is another country. This is like a third world.
It pretty much is, and you fucking smell the ocean every time you wake
Oh
up.
God, I could
I don't know
not.
how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all you smell is like fish everywhere, right?
It's just gross
Depending
salt.
on how close you get to the
You
water.
walk down the street, you smell it. Girl opens her legs. You smell it.
Yeah, it can be bad, but I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, I have to get used to it if I want to go to Japan.
Oh yeah, there's the
Like my
culture
buddy
shock.
has like his family home.
Oh, his family's
Like,
from there?
Yeah, he was born there. So like his like hut home is like fucking maybe 30 minutes from the ocean, but he's on a hill, so you walk out onto the main street and it's just a big, like, it's technically a landmark down there. Like, just to stand at the top of that street and look down, because you see straight to the ocean, but like the sun sets over it.
So he doesn't live in the city?
No, it's a fishing village, essentially. It's
Wow.
a fishing and rice farming village.
That'd be a crazy visit to go.
Yeah, I'd want it so bad because they finally, like, just in the last 10 years, they got a train line that takes you, like,
To
to
there,
another
yeah.
train line that'll get you to, like,
Two trains.
Tokyo and
Jeez.
shit.
I can't imagine taking like public transport in another country, like by
It's
yourself.
a lot cleaner than here, apparently.
Oh, I bet, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like by yourself, like trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
I mean, to a certain degree, you can just follow the crowd. There's so many people that cram into those. at
That's
one
fair,
time.
yeah. But like getting lost and
Yeah,
potentially
you can't really ask anybody.
getting robbed, or yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just try to
don't
use
know.
like fucking makeshift sign language.
Yeah, just like bring cue cards with you.
Like my buddy
Just here.
backpacked in Europe. What was it, last summer for like 4 months or something like that by himself, and he got robbed like 3 different times.
What was the mistakes he made?
I have no idea. I didn't ask, but
No, I would have. I'd have been a dick. I didn't do wrong, so I don't do it when I go. Where'd you keep your money?
but
I think like the best way is to get those hats that have buckshot in them. They have buckshot in the loop in the back.
really,
So I use it as a weapon, but it's also got a pocket in the front here,
oh
like
shit.
behind the design.
Yeah.
So you could fit at least like $200 or $300 in there, or cards or whatever.
I just wouldn't keep all my money in one spot. I'd keep it in different spots.
yeah, like socks. You just gotta get over like having sweaty money.
Yeah, that's
It's better than having no money.
I've done that before,
Yeah.
and it's just not comfortable at all.
I mean, depending on where you go to as well, like how would you feel safe with a phone on you? Because like you, at one hand you need it, but at the same time it's a liability because if someone knows you have a phone, they're gonna try and take it. Especially if they realize that like you're new and you don't know where you're going, like they know all the routes and shit, and you have nowhere to go.
Well, I think the idea is to travel in groups so that you don't,
And then but
Yeah.
in some ways you can also stick out, and then like some people will. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking
You
into
don't-
it, like
you don't-
Taken, like where they just observe your habits.
You don't travel in that big of a group, but you travel in a group to the point where like you have people around.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to travel alone like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Especially
either.
if it's my first time visiting.
Especially
that place,
in like Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
Europe's really bad for, muggings and
Pickpockets.
people killing you for no reason.
Well, because they just
Yeah.
they don't. I mean, they just as we see it, like we don't know their culture. We don't know what's a farce and what's not in terms of how they
robbing
treat
people
you.
is completely legal.
No, I'm not saying it's completely. I'm saying like the ability for them to take advantage of you it increases exponentially.
Oh yeah, I'm
Because
sure
they
it
don't
happens here
know.
too, though.
Because it's like,
Oh, yeah.
you ask for directions, they're like, yeah, just go down this road and then take a left here or whatever.
Go down
And
this
they're really
alleyway
directing
and
you to
then
their buddy.
wait for me.
Yeah, they're directing you to their buddy, and you have no idea. But it's. I think having a tour guide is important to a certain
I
extent.
mean, certain countries you don't want to fuck with their tour guides. 'Cause
No.
They're just gonna bring you to like some tram service that they
No,
work for and be
obviously,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, you can take these guys."
Yeah, I mean they
$400
even
bucks.
like warned us
Scammers,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, I went to Dominican. They warned us about that. About like don't like jump in a random cab with people, especially at the airport. Like a lot of people hold up.
Oh yeah,
signs.
they have
And
like
didn't you do that?
battalions at the
No.
airports.
I was lucky we-
Weren't you in a cab where your dad left and you're like,
Yeah,
Your dad ditched a cab with you in
dude,
it.
it was fucked. Cause,
You know what?
Dude,
You
there's
wanna-
gonna be so many good stories about your dad for this.
Oh yeah, there's plenty. but yeah, like so we were like the purpose of going there was for like his friend's brother's wedding, and we ended up trying to go to their hotel and spend the day with them, like at their resort, because
Yeah.
they stayed at a different one. So we ended up going and we took a cab there, and it was late at night when we tried going the first time. So my dad had to try and like get out and negotiate with the fucking security at the front. Like he had some sort of way about himself. Like he was gonna talk his way into getting into another resort for free, with people who don't even speak the language per se. So it just ended up turning into a thing where he like couldn't get his way within the cab, so he had to get out of the cab and go up to the fucking door and speak to them. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm fucking 16 years old, and I'm in the back of the cab with this random Dominican cab driver, and I have no idea what's going on. English? I didn't talk to him.
Just staring at your keys, like,
I was sitting directly behind him, and I was thinking to myself, like, if anything happens, I'm going to grab his neck, and I'm just going to fucking talk.
Yeah, grab the neck of the driver. Let him...
Well, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Get out of the car. Bail.
You know what? I didn't think of that. I just thought of like...
You didn't think of unlocking the door and getting out?
Because I was thinking at that point, if anything did start to happen, he's going to lock the door and not let me leave. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I need to...
Yeah, but usually on the doors, the switches are there that you can just pull open.
Yeah, I didn't think
I don't know about these domo cabs.
I would
move it all together.
No. They go into the door.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about my testosterone at the time. Just thinking, like, I'm a man. I'm going to fucking defend myself.
Like, so that was the same trip you had your first drink, right? You got fucking wasted by yourself?
Yeah, it was horrible.
I remember those videos. You still have them?
No, I have the screenshot of the catalog of videos. You know, like the.
Why would you take a screenshot of the catalog of videos?
You just kept the videos.
I know, but my phone had no storage. I didn't use the cloud at the time, so I just didn't end up keeping them. But I remember them.
So you deleted them all?
Drinking?
I was drinking a mixture of rum and coke. That was the main drink, and then a couple like margaritas.
Got you feeling nice.
Yeah, I was feeling very nice. To the point where I didn't realize that there's this insatiable hunger you get when you drink. And
hunger
you get,
for what?
Just in general.
Pussy.
Yeah, that too.
Pussy.
But no, I didn't realize how thirsty and how hungry I was gonna get. Like more hunger than anything. I was like.
Really? I'm the opposite.
Really? You don't
I don't
get
want
hungry?
anything else in my body.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get hungry at all?
No, I have like bad acid reflux as is. So like when I drink, it just throws bombs in there. And I have to deal with that the whole time. So like I'm that bitch that has to drink water at the same time, or else I'm just gonna ruin everybody's night by like puking.
So that's why you don't drink often.
Yeah, it's more like I'm okay with feeling like shit for a bit. Like I'm gonna be celebrating or something, or hanging out with people. Like it's fine, but yeah, I try to avoid it. Rather just smoke weed and fucking do edibles.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No repercussions on that except weight loss, which, I mean, I feel like I've already hit my bottom, so...
Well, I mean, you can only go up, right?
Yeah,
that's
the way to think.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, I literally just... I had chili cheese nachos in front of me, like an entire, like, party size of them, and I just kept fucking
just dislocated your jaw and went...
Yeah, I didn't even realize how many I was eating. And I also kind of, like, filled that with, like, Coke. Like, not cocaine, but...
You sure?
But, yeah.
Maybe that, too, you know?
Cocaine, yeah.
So then it ended up being this thing of I have so much in my body, and I didn't know, like... I wasn't thinking in the moment, I have to get rid of this at some point.
Did you make yourself throw up?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I was gonna say, that's the worst
thing.
Like,
I got to the point where we were heading back to the hotel. Like,
you're waddling back to the hotel?
Basically, yeah. I was, like, bouncing off the walls and shit. Literally walking down the hallway, and I was...
you had a good amount.
I mean, and the thing about, like, as a 16-year-old, and I'm just, like, maniacally laughing to myself. I'm just like, you guys look so
these
stupid.
walls are fucking soft.
Yeah, dude, I was like, fucking boing, you know, I was in a fucking bounce house, but... And then we got back to the hotel, and they ended up getting ready and going to dinner, like, at, like, the whole group of them, and I was there by myself. And, like, the only thing that I remember doing is kind of laying on the bed, staring face up, and I remember hearing Adventure Time in the background. And I didn't know it was Adventure Time right away, and I'd never watched it before. So I was like, I had like really blurry vision, like, you know, like when you see those like Mad commercials where they start putting the white glasses in front. It actually did start to feel like that. And then I got to that point, and I was like, what is this show about? And then I fell asleep.
Then I just realized I put pint glasses in front of my eyes.
Fuck. Did you see that? What's his name? Pinkton Ward, the writer of Adventure Time. He's doing a show with Duncan Trussell.
No, I didn't know.
That's like based on dark magic or something. It's like a Satanism cartoon, but they're making it kind of kid friendly. Like they're putting a veil over it. So it's gonna be so fucking good. I think it comes out this year.
I never got into Adventure Time. I was always a regular show guy.
Yeah.
I like regular show.
From the snippets I saw of regular show,
regular show is so funny.
Man.
Do you guys ever watch Over the Garden Wall?
No, what's
You
that?
told me about
Definitely another thing that's worth watching.
Yeah.
The
Is it another
show's just a
cartoon?
giant metaphor for
Is it a cartoon
something.
too? Or?
Yeah, it was on Cartoon Network, but it was a mini series.
Oh, okay.
So there's only like 8 episodes, I think,
Oh, wow.
but they're broken into like 15-minute things. But it's like wholesome and fucking wrenches on your heart at the right time.
No, really.
Makes you feel like a man. It's actually the exact opposite. It makes you cry a little bit, but
Oh, that's not good.
you know, it's a good show and it does that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, especially for a cartoon.
Yeah, like it's definitely worth a watch.
You know, I've had a hard time being able to watch shows while high, because I think
Why?
Because I don't know. I think I might get too high, and I'm just kind of like
That
sitting there.
It's
and
not a
I'm-
problem.
I know, but then I just don't absorb it. I just kind of sit there and I'm just wondering.
I don't
like,
get that. I don't
I
get
don't know. It just happens.
because you're the only person that I can think of that says that, as it's like a deterrence for you for not
Yeah.
smoking.
It was
and
more.
watching
It's
shit.
been more of a hindrance than anything else, and you know how long
I-
it took me to like find weed that actually fucking worked. But how do you even do a dab? What is like it's?
Well, there's different ways of
To
doing
get
it.
concentrated, like
I mean, you could smoke it.
Yeah, I put dabs in the ends of my joints sometimes.
what is it, like sticky stuff or something?
Oh yeah, super sticky.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
like-
yeah, I do know.
It's
what
like
it
that
is.
candy, but it's like, you know, bigger.
It's
Oh.
usually wet. It's wetter. Like
That's a good description.
Being like
constantly
rock
moist.
or it
Yeah.
can be like flat.
yeah, you can take like 3 or 4 dabs that are a little bit too powerful, and then you're kind of just like stuck staring at something for a good 20 minutes, letting it die down. Just
Yeah.
like keep your breathing going. Don't focus on breathing, 'cause that's a problem.
And then you overanalyze how much you're breathing, and then you're
Yeah.
like, am I breathing enough?
And then now you're just focusing on breathing for
Yeah.
like the hour.
That happened to me the last time I got high.
Oof.
My
Sorry.
my heart rate
Sorry.
my heart rate was just racing the whole time. It just wasn't a good time at all.
See, like I still get that, but it doesn't bother me now. Like that's just part of it.
I just thought I was gonna have like a panic attack because like the heart was racing
Yeah.
so much and then I couldn't breathe and then I was just focusing on that the whole time.
Sheldon experienced me my first time actually feeling the effects of it, and like in a full-blown panic attack. I made the mistake of doing it at lunchtime one time because I was an
Yeah.
irresponsible baby boy.
Lunchtime at school or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it wasn't like when I went to buy it. So, it's a bit of a story. So, I was a noob at the time. So, like, I gave my buddy at the time, who was a dealer, fucking $20. He was like, "I'll bring it tomorrow." Bad idea. Should never do that because it was like a week later. I hadn't seen the shit, and I was like, I had the same woodshop
you just
class.
stole
with
your
him.
money.
Yeah, I had the same woodshop class with him, and every day I'd remind him about it, and he's like, tomorrow. Like, this is bullshit. So, like, a week later, I walk up to him, like, right before the fucking period ends. I'm like, you're either giving it to me at lunch, or you're giving me my $20 back, because this isn't how this shit works. I know, like, 3 other people within, like, a 20-foot proximity that I can go ask the same thing from. So, fucking step your game up. And he's like, alright, you can come with me at lunch, and I'll give it to you then, but you gotta come with me to, like, my spot where all the shit is. I'm like, okay.
That sounds super sketch.
You
just,
sure, sir?
you just get robbed in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so we fucking. You remember Henry Street, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we walked down towards the bridge,
Okay.
and that little path that's, like, right before the bridge, we, like,
Yeah.
branch off right there. And then he just beelines into the trees. Like, just not even, like, a slight opening, just, like, disappears like Homer into a fucking bush. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to fucking Narnia or some shit. So, like, there's a group of us, like 8 people,
Well, there's
just
8
like
people.
line into the bushes.
Well, it's
Like,
so
this isn't
sus.
suspicious.
Yeah.
So we're in there, and then, like, once you get in there, it's way the fuck open. And you could see a fence that's, like, 20 feet down. Like, I asked the guy next to me, like, where the fuck are we going, first of all? Like, I've never been here, so this is just weird. He's
He's
like,
like,
yeah, we
"Shut up."
hopped that fence.
Shut
up.
Keep quiet.
That would have been a better story, but yeah, he's like, we gotta hop over that fence. I'm like, how? It was like an 8-foot tall fence, and there's nothing around to get up it. I'm like, I don't climb fences on the regular.
He's like, well, you are today.
Yeah. He's like, we get over that, and then we hop this ravine, and then you'll
Then we
see
get to
where we're
my
going
house.
from there. Yeah.
It just seems like a lot of
Essentially.
work to smoke
It
weed.
was for 2 grams, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's like not even worth it. Like, just fucking go back to school.
So, well, no, I was already halfway down the journey.
Nah, well then fucking, you just keep going then.
Just go all that way.
Gotta
He
get to
gives,
Mount Doom. Like,
Yeah. Mountain too,
you
man.
go all that way. He gives you a deeg.
So we get to the fence, and there's this knocked over log, like a stump, that's like 4 feet tall. So like 2 guys work together to like push that shit back up, and it's like uneven as fuck. Like you step on one half, and it's like teetering. So they
He's
set
just
it
got
up,
ants in it.
and then 2 guys, yeah, probably, it's hollowed out. 2 guys are holding it, and then we each have to climb on it and like jump over the fence. So, like it was a mission. So we get over, and then there's another like 2-minute walk to just get through thick fucking forest. And at this point, I'm like, is this even worth it? Like it took to that point for me being like, I don't know if I should keep
He's
going.
like, yo, man, I just want my $20 back.
But he's at the front of the line, and I'm like towards the back. I was one of the
Yeah.
last people to get over the fence, so I'm not yelling over all this shit. And then I hear cars. Like we're getting closer and closer to like a lot of fucking cars, and like we are at least maybe 20 feet from the highway guardrail. Like we're walking to the guardrail essentially, and the trees start to open up, and then there's these giant fucking like basically weeping willow looking trees. Like they had those long ass vines,
Yeah.
and they hung over this ravine. And I see the first guy, like the guy I'm trying to buy the shit from, grab like 8 of them and like lump them together, and then he fucking swings like a monkey across the ravine to get to the other side. I'm like, this is what you guys do every day? Like, why? So, like, just do it in the bush. Like, you don't have to go all this extra way.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, nah, we've been caught in the bush. It's like, alright, then maybe just find a different spot instead of being
like just go down the street or something.
Yeah,
you
like be
know,
fucking Tarzan every day.
Or maybe don't go as a fucking group of 8. Like
I don't know, man.
like,
They
it's
had
also
a
a dead
they had a
giveaway.
system. Like the 2 guys lifting up the log and shit.
Oh,
Like it was,
God.
they clearly had a plan, and I should have been blessed to go on that journey with them.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was cursed. So we fucking hop over the ravine. I do my like white ass attempt at like flailing my legs and shit as I'm going across the ravine, and it's like a good 10-foot gap. Like
You
it
just
was a-
fall in the ravine.
yeah, like you could fall in, you'd just be wet on the lower half. It was gross. So we get across, and then you have to hang on to the fence that's like attached to the guardrail, and like scale your way across because it's still like the stoop going into the ravine.
Oh boy.
So you get across, and I look to my left as I'm doing it, and like way down there's this fucking tent that's broken down. They're using the like foundation of it, the bars
the poles,
as as stands for these lawn chairs. And
What
there's
the
like
fuck
three,
is this
there's
story?
3 dudes already there watching us do this whole fucking thing, and they're smoking and looking all fucking sketchy. And they watch us come, and the first thing they say as we get across is, "Who the fuck is that?" pointing at me. And I'm like, all right, like if you go up here, I'll just get the fuck out. Like I know my way back. I did this already.
yeah. Who the fuck is this narc?
Yeah, it's like, who's this? And I'm like, I wasn't prepared for this shit, so I was wearing normal clothes, and they're all wearing like trap house shit.
And they're all wearing like black hoodies, like those flat brim hats.
Yeah, they're just like mad dogging me the whole time. Like I
Just
was
wearing fucking sweatpants in the summer, like the most sus shit
It was
ever.
gross weather. It was like this type of shit.
Oh,
that we
was
were
it?
going
Oh,
through.
okay.
Yeah, it was like raining and cold.
Oh
Just
boy.
gross. And they're sitting on wet lawn chairs. Like, and after that day, I started recognizing them around school. And I was like, so you guys just like randomly show up when you want? Because I had never seen them up until that point. But
Yeah.
after that, they were like the class next to me, or they would be like walking out of a computer lab as we were going in.
You just
At the
started
same
noticing
time,
them.
they just stare at me the whole time. Every time I saw them, I could just feel their gaze in the fucking side of my face.
Like, you want some weed? You want some weed?
Yeah, I said no. I already learned how you guys work. I'm not fucking going on a 20-minute quest every time I want to go read from you. Like, so we get over there, and Tristan is the name of the guy I was going to buy shit from. He fucking pulls out this massive, like, foot long, or like 2 foot long, it was way too long, of a bong for a first timer. I didn't know that was what I was going to have to use. He didn't even give me the weed. He just ground up 2 fucking grams,
Yeah.
stuffed it in this massive bowl.
So you don't even know if
And
there's 2 grams.
No, he weighed it in front of me. He
Oh,
had a
okay.
scale.
Wow.
It was 2 grams of bud, and then he fucking broke it up and stuffed this fucking rimmer bowl to like it had a mound on the top, and he hands it to me, and then me thinking like, I'm not fucking doing this. I just hand it to the next person beside me. That was rude, apparently. That was very rude. He's like, nah, it's for you, dick. And I'm like, oh, all right, thanks.
Dude, I packed that for you.
Yeah. It's like, I guess, thank you. And then I'm like, I've never fucking, like, I use a shitty L pipe at that point, like the shit you get from bad head shops, where like you're burning metal as you're burning the weed.
You probably got lead poisoning while you're doing it.
A little bit, yeah, when I was doing it the first time, but like, I had never felt the actual effects up to that point. At least I thought I had, but like I wasn't ready for this shit.
Yeah.
I get my buddy, like the one guy I kind of knew in that group, who I was like grouped up with in woodshop, to light it for me, because I was a fucking bitch.
I mean, I had somebody light my first bowl. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not calling you a bitch. I'm a bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch.
Alright.
I'm bitch.
So he fucking sparks it. He gets like halfway down. I can't lung it, so like I look terrible while I'm doing it. I get the full fucking 2 grams in me, and then it was immediate panic attack. Like I hadn't even let out the cloud yet. Like my fucking chest was burning. Everything just flared up, and I was like, I do not know how to handle myself. So like I probably sat down and stood up at least like 8 times in the first 30 seconds after taking that bowl. I was like, I don't know how to get comfortable. And I like leaned up against this tree and like dug through my bag for a snack, and I pulled out this like dry ass fucking Nutri-Grain bar or something.
Oh,
Like
I
tried
love
to eat
Nutri-Grain
that,
bars.
and I had like the driest mouth ever, and it just like turned into starch. And I was like,
I'm sure.
ah. I just like got it out of my mouth. Like, is this dude okay? Like everyone's still looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm ready to go. You guys want to go? Like, we should get the fuck out of here.
We should get back to class, guys.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have been able to find your way had you not?
Yeah,
had
yeah.
them? Oh,
Because like, I'm pretty sure it was because of me the whole group like dispersed from that spot.
Oh.
And like we started leaving, and then we got back to that fence, and I'm like stumbling over everything. Like I can't even walk normal. It's like my heart's beating so fast, like my legs are shaking as I'm like lifting them off the ground. We get to that fence. Somebody already popped up the log, so like I'm trying to climb, and then my fucking best pair of pants gets caught on the fucking fence, and it rips like right inner thigh, like right up in the ball seam. Like it just fucking, and I'm stuck on it, and I have to get some dickhead that I like never talked to, but we're in the same classes, so it was like the first time we talked, and I'm like, hey man, you gotta unhook my pants. And he was like, I'm not touching you there. I'm like, well, you either do or we're stuck here for the rest of the day, because my pants are fucking like latched onto these fucking chain links.
You're like, man, I'm not asking you to grab my balls.
Yeah, I'm like, that's your
That's
choice.
for the second
Like,
time.
yeah. I'm like, you either need to do this or I'm staying here. Like, there's no other spot to go.
He's like, I'll see you.
Yeah, he just turns around, goes back. No, he like finally fucking hooks me up. And then I
Hooks
don't
you
remember how I got. Yeah, he hooks me up, man. Just caps me off.
Yeah.
And I stumble my way back to the fucking school. Walk in, and this guy's the first guy I see fucking standing right beside my music class, which was luckily my next class where we could just sit around and do fuck all.
So wait, you went back to school with that
Yeah.
ball rip in your pants?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I had no choice. I couldn't go home. I could have, but it would have been even more of a shit show to deal with. But
Yeah.
we get back to the fucking hallway, and he's staring at me. Like, I don't know if he could tell something was up, but like I was just being quiet and like staring. Like he was in the middle of a conversation, so I just like glum onto that shit. I'm standing in the circle, just like staring at everybody as they're talking.
I had noticed you like kind of come in from the shadows, and I'm like, where's Mitchell coming from, and what is going on here?
He's like,
And
dude, what happened to your pants?
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
It was
that,
on the like it was kind of hard to see because it was like
Oh.
really inner thigh, like
Oh,
up
okay.
there. Like
Yeah,
I had to be like
Oh, so you could have got away with it.
I had to be like spread full eagle for people to see the whole shebang. But
Man, I had no idea. I looked over at you, and you looked spaced out, but not any more than usual.
yeah,
So I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe he's just tired or something. And then I was trying to have a conversation with you, and I remember having to like reiterate the same point like 3 times, and you kept saying, what? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of it. And I'm like, okay, well, see you later, kind of thing.
See you, man. I don't want to talk to
good
you.
talk, mate.
Like,
Just be
fuck
lying.
off, like stop being a dick, just get your shit together.
yeah. It was
Dude,
an
stop
experience.
fucking around.
And then I went in and aced the music playing test. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, you had a test that day?
Yeah, I didn't know. So that was a really good realization. Walking in, they're like, all right, Mitch, you're first on the percussion. I'm like, huh? What?
Alright, all you gotta play is Hot Cross Buns on the recording.
Born to play that shit. Nah, like it was
It's not even a
seriously,
fucking song.
it was seriously some easy ass like just snare and kick thing like repeat it 4 times. I was like,
Wow.
I got this. This is grade 10 music. Fuck.
Wait, you took music class, Sheldon?
No. I was in the
He was
hallway.
standing
and
outside.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, no.
It's like from your recording experience. You
Oh
know,
my god, I literally
Or-
have no ability to play any instruments
Or your
whatsoever.
trumpet.
Honestly, you could have passed those classes.
I could have.
There were people who never actually learned how to play their instrument
No.
and were in the band.
Oh my
And
god.
passed.
Okay, maybe, but at the same time,
Probably
I
just got participation marks.
I would have crumbled in my own doubt when it comes to that, because in the 8th grade I had the trumpet, and then that was the whole ordeal.
I mean, I had the trumpet too. I had to like beg that bitch to play the drums.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the thing with like playing the drums. I wanted to play it, but like you had to have a drum set for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I guess because they thought like, well, actually no, it actually makes sense because a lot of the students can take the trumpets and all the other instruments home. Whereas if you had a drum set, obviously you can't fucking bring that to school and bring it home and whatever.
Yeah.
So you get to play it at home. But I was always kind of fixed on that because we're fucking playing rock band and shit. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be this amazing musician, and then I realized I had no concept of scale and like how like actual sounds work and
It's so
bass
much
and
easier to
treble.
learn scales on piano.
Yeah, and I had no interest in that. I was always just fucking. I wanted to be a rock star.
Just
so
get a
bad.
cheap ass keyboard, dude. You can be a rock star and play the fucking piano.
No, but I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
look at Freddie
younger-
Mercury.
Oh, I'm
Younger
saying.
Sheldon's like, that's gay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it
100%.
is. Like, look at Freddie Mercury.
It's,
But-
it's pretty gay.
Yeah,
That's why I probably couldn't watch the new Lion King remake. I mean,
well, that's just a bad movie.
among other things, but
Like that movie was just boring.
Oh,
you
you
can't-
watched it?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah,
You can't-
that's very unfortunate. It doesn't look good at all.
No, you can't take a movie where all the charm lied in the characters themselves, like the fucking.
Well, and like the animation, like that's where it started. Yeah.
Like you can't animate a real lion's face to have some crazy facial expression.
Yeah, because it's not realistic. It's stupid.
Like the first Scar song, I'm a bad Disney fan, so I don't remember the names of all the fucking musical numbers, but his first song where he's being all evil and sassy and shit in the original,
Yeah.
the fucking version in the new one, he's like talk singing the whole thing. And he has he's just slowly walking around a cave around a bunch of hyenas.
I mean, it was clearly just a huge cash grab because you see the cast on it. They were just meaning to milk the money on that. But speaking of bad movies, Cats, anyone?
You know what?
see
I
that?
kind of need to see it just to be able to talk about it, is what
Really?
I'm hearing, because it's so fucking ridiculous and uncanny valley.
I feel like we should watch it, but I'm not
We
gonna be.
should.
I'm not gonna be sober for it. I'll tell you that.
We can do. It's Saturday, man. What are you doing today?
Nothing. I mean, we could see it, but
I feel like we should.
I'm
but
telling you, I'm not seeing that shit sober.
that can be arranged. I
Alright.
mean, every theater now sells booze, but I wouldn't recommend buying it.
No,
from there. We got
I'm
booze
pre-drinking.
here,
Yeah, I'm
but,
pre-drinking for sure. But
Like, I don't know. I have money to see it. But
I'd be down.
I don't
people
know
have
people
walked
that-
out. People have walked
I
out
know.
that I know. That I know.
I know. Like,
I know.
I already know the ending too, so like I'm not going in for story.
Oh,
'cause
see,
there
I have
isn't
no
really
idea.
one. The whole
I've
movie
just-
is just introducing characters, and then the end is like bye. So now you know who we are. Bye.
So like I hate all the talks around it because like Jason Derulo was talking about how his dick was so
Yeah.
big they had to CG it out.
Yeah.
That's not the case at all. They had to CG out like all the body parts because it's a movie about fucking cats. you know?
Yeah.
So, but like,
I was ready to tag along with that story. I was just thinking he was being truthful. I was like, "You guys
really,
got
you
fucking
believe
hard
that?
on him,
You
dude."
believe that?
I don't know.
I mean, I
No,
know
I
he
just-
had that picture on Instagram that got removed because
Okay,
he was wearing
I-
like short ass swim shorts. But
I
you can,
remember
like, clearly
that.
See the shit.
I remember that, but I just don't. As soon as I heard it, I was like, nah, this is some fucking Jussie Smollett bullshit. Like, this is just not real.
Yeah.
Not real at all. Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't think I've ever gone into a movie that's bad intentionally, knowing that it's gonna be horrible and just.
I just want to go in and laugh at a movie. Like,
Oh god.
I just feel like even if I'm like drunk or high, I feel like I'm still gonna be cringing at it.
oh
It's
yeah,
super
it's
hard.
fucking nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
the stories that I've heard from other podcasts is just like 20 minutes in, not even like after the first number, like the whole group is just like leaning out looking at each other with like jaws dropped, like what the fuck did we pay for? I just hope it's not that busy so we can just roast the shit out of it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably go later.
Well, there's a good
something like
movie
that.
we can actually see today. Fucking 1917.
Yeah,
I
flip of the
want to
coin,
fucking
that-
see it.
It's a
so
one-shot
bad.
movie too.
I know.
I mean, obviously not. One
Yeah,
shot.
but like yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But fuck.
Wait, what do you
Everybody-
mean one shot?
Like it's one continuous shot. Like, did you play the new God of War game?
No.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
don't have
it's like the same
PlayStation.
thing.
I have Xbox.
Oh, right. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard about they had a teacher come in to teach the actors and actresses how to act like cats.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just-
I know. I saw the
Yeah,
I saw the
yeah,
footage of
Her and her
that.
husband fucking act out some sexual fantasies with cats and shit. That's probably why.
Well, I don't get how there's so much shoulder movement. Like, I get when cats walk, they like do that shit, but the humans aren't walking on they're not on all fours, so it doesn't make any sense how they're walking with 2 feet, but they do this the whole time they're moving.
Oh,
They're just
I don't
rolling
know,
their
the
shoulders.
CG is so bad though.
Yeah. I heard don't look at their feet because the CG's so bad they just slide everywhere. Like their feet never touch the ground.
Oh god.
They're
I
just
don't want to
floating.
see
Yeah, they're
this shit.
floating everywhere. Like I kind of want to see
I don't
it.
want
I
to
kind of
want to
see it just to watch the train wreck.
Fuck. Seems fucking dumb.
It is. That's why.
Fuck.
It's worth it, man.
We just go see Cats. We walk out of it. We go and see another movie.
That's what I'd do.
I bet they wouldn't even stop you. Like they get it.
Yeah.
Like,
we
oh,
don't
which
even
theater you
want this
walk out
here
of?
either. Like we don't want to even show
I mean,
this shit.
it's pretty easy to do. All you gotta do is walk out of Cats. You go to the washroom, then you walk into another theater.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
gonna really know. I mean, most of the staff doesn't give a fuck anyway.
Well, and they're not keeping tabs on who came out of what theater. You know?
Unless you worked at Ajax when I did. Like,
Oh, really?
I didn't
I'm
give
sure.
a fuck.
Yeah,
but-
I'm sure Ajax was like that because you got a lot of like undesirable people.
Actually that's true. But like,
They paused our fucking movie and said we were too loud.
oh right, you
Yeah.
guys were in that.
Yeah.
It was a scary movie,
It's
right?
a scary
It's
movie.
an
Yeah.
Annabelle movie. Annabelle
Yeah,
creation.
well, like, it's Annabelle, makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a rowdy fucking theater.
Oh my God,
I heard
it
about
was
that.
literally the
I wasn't
worst.
working that night.
Never going to the Ajax
Never
location
again.
again.
It's not worth it. Like,
Yeah.
that theater was built in, like, 91 or something. They haven't updated anything.
The seats suck.
Not, yeah.
Like the armrests are hard plastic and your elbows just dig into it
Yeah.
and you
I don't know how it's still
I don't
open.
know.
I'm so glad
Fuck
we
that
quit there.
place.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
Wasn't fun working there, was it?
You know what? It was for, like, one summer. Like, one half of a year it was good because there were fun people working there. So
Yeah.
no matter how shitty it got, you still had good people to talk to. But as soon as they all started quitting in, like, fucking hordes, it was just lonely.
How do you end something?